Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Friday Night Smackdown review. And this review is going to be on this past Friday's edition of SmackDown, which was the December 6th edition. And this SmackDown was from the Crown Coliseum in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And another week, another shitty SmackDown it was. This show was awful this week. It was absolutely fucking shitty show. I mean, we got announced matches for TLC. We had two matches that were announced, and then one that was made on SmackDown, which they had a fatal four-way number one contenders match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, who will go on to face the New Day for them at TLC. So, but all in all, SmackDown was fucking awful this week. And I'm like, Fox paid $1 billion for SmackDown. You know, that $1 billion down the drain, because ever since SmackDown has been on Fox, the show keeps on getting worse and worse and worse. So the only decent show that they had was when NXT invaded after the Crown Jewel show, where some of the superstars were stuck in Saudi Arabia, and Triple H and the NXT superstars, they came to SmackDown and put on a great show. So yeah, that's the only decent show that SmackDown has had on Fox so far. When NXT invaded, they came to SmackDown. That was after the Crown Jewel pay-per-view. So, but let's get started with the SmackDown review. So, Friday Night Smackdown opened up on Friday. We had no intro, and we had no pyro. It just went to The Miz coming out. So The Miz came out, and he got on the mic. He ended up saying that he was supposed to start the show with Miz TV, and that Daniel Bryan was supposed to be his guest. And of course, I'm glad WWE did not have Daniel Bryan come on this week after what we saw at the end of SmackDown last week, where the Fiend ended up pulling Daniel Bryan and chunks of Daniel Bryan's hair. We saw that the Fiend was pulling out. So it's going to be a surprise. WWE is going to surprise us, at what, Daniel Bryan, is going to look like. We're possibly going to get a bald, Daniel Bryan, a nice freshly shaved Daniel Bryan. But props to WWE for not having Daniel Bryan on this week. Because, with that happened last weekend, even if Daniel Bryan was supposed to be on today, I'm like, even, Daniel Bryan was supposed to be on this show, I would be like, just keep him off, and, let's see him, with a nice, be surprised to see him with a nice freshly shaved, look on, how he looks. So, but The Miz went on to say that after the horrific actions last week, Daniel Bryan has disappeared. So Miz went on to say, and he ended up saying that he knows Daniel Bryan better than a lot of people because of their history. He went on to say that he believes we saw the real Daniel Bryan last week as the Yes Movement returned. So he says the Fiend yanked it away. So Miz ended up making it clear that he never liked Daniel Bryan, but he cares. So the Miz ended up saying that he couldn't believe that, he said that. And he also mentioned that he vows to get to the bottom of everything and find out what happened to Daniel Bryan. So then we saw the Firefly Funhouse. The Firefly Funhouse played on the Titantron. Bray Wyatt then appeared on the Titantron. He ends up taunting. Bray Wyatt ends up taunting the Miz, and says the Miz doesn't want to know about Daniel Bryan. And he ends up saying that he's not sure if he even wants to know what happened, because Daniel Bryan could be with him, meaning the Fiend. So Bray Wyatt says the Fiend, might not be done with Daniel Bryan. So Bray Wyatt says Daniel Bryan is supposed to come play with him at TLC, but he's not sure if he will be able to make it. So Bray Wyatt went on to say, oh, maybe The Miz wants to play at TLC instead. So The Miz ends up interrupting about Daniel Bryan being, family in the company, family in WWE. And Bray Wyatt is sad that no one wants to play, but he ends up spelling the word family. And he said the word family got his attention. Bray Wyatt says family is the word of the day. And Bray Wyatt said that he used to have a family. Of course, mentioned, the Wyatt family, with him, Luke Harper, which sadly today, Luke Harper is released from WWE, which, I know that Luke Harper has been asking for his release, and WWE finally managed to release him. Hopefully, AEW signs him, and he could have a really awesome run in AEW if they sign Luke Harper. So I hope that AEW signs him. But going back to what I mentioned with Bray Wyatt saying that he used to have a family, it was Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, Braun Strowman, when he came in, it was the Wyatt family. And Bray Wyatt ended up saying now he has the chance to join a new family. So we see Bray Wyatt pick up a framed photo of The Miz, Maurice, and their daughter, their kids. And I forgot to mention, we saw Daniel Bryan's picture being added to the Firefly Funhouse with the X's on the eyes, Daniel Bryan's eyes of the photo. So we saw Bray Wyatt, like I said, picked up a framed photo of The Miz, Maurice, and the kids. And Bray Wyatt ends up laughing. And he asks The Miz if he wants to come play with him now. So The Miz didn't look happy. He gets out of the ring. He heads to the back. And we just hear Bray Wyatt laughing. And Bray Wyatt ended up saying, it's time to say goodbye. And so that's when the Firefly Funhouse ended. But it was a decent segment. Bray Wyatt's the best thing going on WWE television, as always, with him and the Fiend character. And I forgot to show this. I'm gonna go get this now because I'm gonna show it to you all. I recently got from WWE shop. Was gonna do an unboxing of this, but I'm like, it's only one shirt, so I might as well show it off here in the review. But I actually got another Fiend, Bray Wyatt the Fiend shirt, him there, and of course the lantern, the head lantern. So it's a pretty awesome shirt right there. See, Bray Wyatt and the Fiend character, they deserve my money because he's the best thing. Like I said, he's the best thing going. Bray Wyatt and the Fiend, they're the best things going in WWE on WWE television. So, but it's a very cool shirt. Glad to have it. Open. Then when SmackDown came back from a commercial, The Miz was backstage. He was on the phone. He was talking to Maurice about what Bray Wyatt said. The Miz ends up telling Maurice to calm down and that everything will be fine. And he ends up saying to Maurice on the phone, just lock everything up to be safe. So The Miz ends up saying that he's taking a flight home to be with the family. And basically that was that. Then we had Alexa Bliss versus Mandy Rose. Fucking shitty match. Absolutely terrible match. Alexa Bliss, you could tell, you know that Alexa Bliss was going to win this match. Alexa won, twisted Bliss on Mandy Rose, scored a win. You had a point where Sonya Deville was getting involved. Nikki Cross was also out there. Nikki Cross ended up taking out Sonya Deville on the outside. And the only highlight point of this match was Mandy Rose ripping off the fake eyelashes on Alexa. So, she had to carefully, pull them off so she wouldn't pull off, Alexa's real eyelashes. But that was basically the highlight part of the match. Mandy Rose pulling off Alexa's fake eyelashes. But overall, god-awful match. And then we get to more god-awful shit. Dana Brooke was backstage. She was in catering. Like where she always is. She's always in catering. Because she's never used on TV. So she was shown backstage. And Drake Maverick approaches her. Drake Maverick ended up bringing up how Dana Brooke said on The Bump, which is WWE's show that is put up on YouTube. I don't watch it. But she said on WWE's The Bump that she's going to go on a dinner date with Dave Bautista. So, because there was, talks on social media, on like Twitter, with Dana Brooke and Bautista. They've been talking on Twitter. So, Dana Brooke ends up saying that she is, and she is excited, to possibly go on this dinner date with Bautista. So Drake Maverick thought he and Dana Brooke had something going between them last week. So Drake ended up asking what Bautista has that he doesn't. Now, lo and behold, we get Elias ends up approaching. So he starts playing, the guitar, sings as Dana Brooke, and there was people behind them, dancing. Elias ends up singing about Bautista being better than Drake Maverick, and Drake Maverick is getting no action. And Elias ends up singing about, there's a line that Elias ended up singing about, saying, about Drake Maverick's wife waking up in Elias's bed. And then we see Drake Maverick end up slapping Elias, and he walks off. So Dana Brooke ended up asking if that really happened with Drake Maverick's wife. Elias ended up saying no. He says it's going to happen now. So basically, Drake Maverick, wants to take Dana out on a date, meaning that, Drake Maverick, wants to cheat on his wife. I don't care about this shit. I did not give a shit about any of this. And then we get more of this. We get more. As SmackDown came back from the commercial, Drake Maverick was in the ring. He was asking everyone if they think this is funny. And Drake Maverick ended up asking Elias if he thinks this is funny. Fans end up chanting yes. And Drake Maverick ended up telling Elias that no one makes a mockery of him or his marriage or his wife. So Drake Maverick ends up calling Elias to the ring so they can fight. So Elias ended up coming out with Dana Brooke. Drake Maverick ended up charging Elias. Drake Maverick was punching fucking air, flopping around the ring. And Elias ended up holding Drake Maverick back with one arm as, Drake Maverick ended up swinging away, punching fucking air. Drake Maverick, when he was swinging the punches, he kept on, hitting the mat. And Elias then manhandles Drake Maverick, bends over Drake Maverick over his knee, and Elias ends up spanking Drake Maverick up. Like, this is so fucking god awful. This was fucking embarrassing. So Elias then punts Drake Maverick in the rear, kicks him out of the ring, and Elias ends up bringing Drake Maverick back in the ring, and Elias ends up hitting the drift away to Drake Maverick. Dana Brooke ends up coming in, puts her boot on Drake Maverick, and Elias made the 3 count. And why do I even fucking care what's happening here? I did not give a shit on what was going on here. This was god awful. Absolutely fucking awful. So then we saw The Miz. He was backstage, and he was walking, and he kicks open a door that was, slightly halfly open, and we saw like a red light in there, thinking that The Miz was thinking that the Fiend might be in there. So The Miz kicks open the door, walks in, red light goes off, and we see the family photo of Miz's family. It was just sitting on a table. That it was the photo that Bray Wyatt showed earlier. So then we see Bray Wyatt, and it's been placed over the Miz. Bray Wyatt's smiling Bray Wyatt has been placed over the Miz in the photo. So Bray Wyatt then suddenly appears behind the Miz, and he tells the Miz to say cheese. Miz turns around. Bray Wyatt ends up laying out the Miz with the Sister Abigail, and Bray Wyatt ends up laughing, and he's taunting the Miz, and Bray Wyatt's singing, "There's no place like home for the holidays." And he was laughing. He ended up placing the photo on the Miz's chest. And that was basically what happened. And that was that. Then we had the Fatal 4-Way #1 Contenders Match. The winner of this match will get to face the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships at TLC. So we had the Revival. We had Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, Chad Gable, and Mustafa Ali. The only reason why they paired Chad Gable and Mustafa Ali here is because WWE doesn't have, that many tag teams. The tag team division is shit now on both brands. why could you could say that WWE, you could tell that WWE, when they put Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode together, they were just singles competitors. They weren't a tag team. WWE just put them together because what other tag team that WWE has on, SmackDown? So yeah, so they placed Chad Gable and Mustafa Ali as a tag team when they're singles competitors. So, but we had Kofi and Big E on commentary here. And the match itself, it was a fun match, but the outcome of the match, which I'll get to, is like, really? We gotta see this again at TLC? So we had Heavy Machinery. They end up eliminating the Lucha House Party because they end up hitting the compactor on Grand Metalik. Then the Revival end up eliminated Heavy Machinery with a Sunset Flip on Otis Dosovic. Then it was down to, then the Revival won it. The Revival are the number one contenders to face the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships at TLC. How many times did we see this already? We have to see this again? What is this, like the 6th or 7th time we're seeing the Revival and the New Day for the Tag Team Championships? Which the Revival end up hitting the Shatter Machine to Chad Gable for them to win the match. There you go, 6th or 7th time we're seeing the Revival and New Day go at it again. Then we just see them go, for the titles throughout the year. I mean, they just, the Revival just lost the other titles. We just seen these guys go at Survivor Series. We gotta see this again. This is just proving that WWE just wants the Revival to stay, because the Revival did not sign new contracts. They were offered, WWE offered the Revival 5-year contracts so they could sign, and then if they do sign them, they're just going to continue to make them fools or, lose matches. I really do hope the Revival do not sign with WWE, and they do not sign those 5-year contracts. If they do, I have lost a lot of respect. I will lose respect for Wilder and Dawson. Because after their contract is up, hopefully they go to AEW. AEW, they would do awesome in AEW. They would be trending. They wouldn't they wouldn't move the needle like for the tag team division there in AEW. But think of all the matches that they could have if they came to AEW. Had matches with the Inner Circle, whether it's Santana, Ortiz, or Sammy Guevara. They got Private Party. They got SCU, the Jurassic Express. Think of all the great matches that the Revival would have if they were to go to AEW with those, with competing with, those tag teams like I just mentioned. It would be great. So yeah, so the Revival end up winning the Fatal 4-Way. They're the number one contenders to face the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships at TLC. Post-match, we had the Revival. They end up getting on the mic, and they say it's a new day, no more, and that they're taking it back to the old days. The fundamentals are what brought them to the dance, which was old school, old-fashioned tag team wrestling. So the Revival went on to talk about how the New Day will no longer be able to make a joke out of the titles and everything else. It says there will be no more pancakes, no more unicorns. And Scott Dawson says after TLC, the New Day can go back to crying behind their desks and doing what they do. They said, but at least they will be able to say they got beat by the best tag team in the company. And that is a revival. All in all, same old that we're going to see at TLC. Then we had Kayla Braxton. She was backstage interviewing Roman Reigns. She says, we saw what Roman did to Robert Roode last week, and asks if he will do the same thing to Dolph Ziggler tonight. And Kayla Braxton also mentioned about how King Baron Corbin being at ringside. So Roman says to Kayla Braxton that he isn't worried about Corbin or anyone with him. Roman went on to say that at TLC, he will embarrass Baron Corbin, King Baron, with a table, a ladder, or a chair. So there you go. Their match at TLC is going to be a TLC match. Yay! Like anybody is looking forward to it and cares. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Match will be fucking terrible anyway. I can tell you, Roman's going to possibly win it. WWE's golden boy. He's going to win it. That's my prediction right there. Going to have Roman lose. So then we had a promo, a Sheamus promo. I forgot to mention in the SmackDown last week that Sheamus, was shown doing a promo on, him, he's going to be returning. I'm glad to see, that Sheamus is returning. I missed him being in the ring, having matches. But Sheamus ended up saying that, in his promo, he says that he returned to SmackDown to find it weak and lazy. Which, I agree with him. These shows have been nothing but weak. And also, lazy booking. I agree what Sheamus had to say there. Sheamus wanted to say that the Titans he used to face had become weak shells of their former self. He says they face no real competition. And there's no one fierce enough to stand against them now. So that's pretty much basically what Sheamus had to say. And he also said that he's ready to ravage everyone who gets in his way. So it's going to be awesome to see Sheamus in the ring again. He's been out for a while. So it's going to be good to see him in the ring again. Then we had Lacey Evans versus Haley Jones. Jobber match. Lacey Evans wins. Woman's right to Haley Jones. That was that. Lacey Evans got a babyface reaction because she's now a babyface. So post-match, Sasha Banks came out. Sasha came out with her music, with her awful, shitty new music that she has. I don't like it one bit. I don't like her new music one bit. So Sasha ended up asking Lacey if she thought she was going to leave. Sasha tells Lacey to wait in the ring because they have some unfinished business. So Sasha made her way down to the ring. SmackDown went to commercial. I'm like, why would you go to commercial right here when a promo is happening? Why? Dumb decision to go to commercial. I would like to know what Sasha and Lacey were saying as the commercial was on. So when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Sasha was still talking trash to Lacey Evans. Sasha reminds Lacey who she is, adding that she's the leader of the women's division. Fans were booing Sasha. Sasha ended up saying that Lacey Evans is pathetic and that she is a little Mary Poppins wannabe. So Sasha ended up telling Lacey to never ever mess with her or Bayley again. Sasha even, made a comment about Lacey being a pathetic role model to her 6-year-old daughter, to Lacey's daughter. So Lacey had enough of that, cuts off Sasha, and she ends up warning Sasha to never say anything about her daughter. So Lacey ends up saying that not only is she a mother, she is a Marine. And I'm like, finally, WWE explained, the character development for Lacey's character. That took them like what? A whole year, maybe 12 months just to get that out and let people know that Lacey is a Marine. I mean, if you go on Wikipedia, you probably all know that, Lacey was a Marine. So it took WWE nearly a year to get that out, 12 months to get that out. Really now. So Sasha ended up, she ends up saying that Sasha doesn't want her to put those boots back on. So Lacey ends up interrupting them last week end up interrupting Sasha and Bayley last week because she's tired of hearing them blame everyone else for their failures. So Lacey goes on about, leadership and learning from the Marine Corps. She ends up saying that Sasha and Bayley are pathetic when it comes to being leaders. So Lacey Evans ended up, threatening to hit Sasha if Sasha came in. They both drop the mics, and Sasha gets in Lacey's face. Lacey is, acting like she's going to hit the woman's right, and sends Sasha falling back to the mat. And I'm like, Sasha's afraid to take a punch. Is afraid to take the woman's right from Lacey. So Lacey Evans ends up making her exit out of the ring, walks up the ramp, stands on the stage, and we see Bayley ends up attacking Lacey from behind, and Sasha and Bayley end up beating up on Lacey Evans. Fans were booing the both of them. Basically, that's that. So, I guess one week we're going to have Lacey Evans versus Sasha, and then the next week we're possibly going to see, then the following week we're possibly going to see Lacey Evans versus Bayley. So, possibly going to see those. Or it could be a 2-on-1 handicap match. Lacey Evans versus Sasha and Bayley. That's how the way I see it. Watch WWE do that. So then it was announced that we were going to have, of course, Roman versus King Corbin, TLC, which Corey Graves and Michael Cole then announced, that. And they also announced that we're going to be seeing Bray Wyatt versus The Miz. No, we're not going to be seeing The Fiend. It's just going to be Bray Wyatt, in his whole Mr. Rogers, get up that he wears in the Firefly Funhouse. Really, I'm interested to see, how, Bray Wyatt is going to come out, with just that, with his, Mr. Rogers, outfit. I'm really interested in seeing that at TLC. How they're going to, pull off his entrance. So, but no, like I said, The Fiend is not going to be going against, The Miz. Fiend's not going to be competing with The Miz. It's just going to be Bray Wyatt. So I'm really interested to see, how Bray Wyatt, is going to be in that match with The Miz. But it would have been stupid if WWE let Bray Wyatt and, Bray Wyatt compete with The Miz, and then he competes with Daniel Bryan as The Fiend. It would be ridiculous if WWE did that. Thankfully, they are not doing that. Bray Wyatt's just going to face The Miz, and pretty much basically, that's going to be it. Possibly Daniel Bryan and The Fiend are not going to have a match maybe until the Royal Rumble. Maybe it's going to take place at the Royal Rumble. Because TLC is the last pay-per-view of the year. So we're possibly going to be getting Daniel Bryan versus The Fiend at the Royal Rumble. Then we had the main event. Roman Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler. Garbage match. Shitty main event. One point we had these guys bringing out King Corbin on a sedan. And Corbin was just watching the match from the sedan. So Roman ended up getting the win. Speared Dolph Ziggler. There was a point where Corbin was trying to distract, was trying to get involved in the match, and the referee was, telling Corbin, get down, and pretty much Roman came out of there. Superman punched Corbin off the ring apron, and led to Roman ended up spearing Dolph Ziggler. So Roman ends up winning the match. No surprise. No fucking surprise. Post-match, Corbin's guys that he had carried the sedan, they helped him up, at ringside. Roman goes out of the ring, and he runs around. He ends up attacking Corbin, and a few of Corbin's guys, that were carrying the sedan, were attacking Roman. And they bring Roman into the ring. Roman starts fighting them off. Starts fighting off those guys, those servants. And the fight ends up on the floor again. The servants come back at Roman. Roman once again fights them off, fights Corbin off. And Roman ends up sending Corbin over the announce table. And Dolph ends up coming over, lays a super kick to Roman at ringside, because we had Corbin and those servants holding down on Roman. So the numbers game ended up catching up to Roman. So Roman ends up fighting off everyone again. We see Dolph goes under the ring, and he retrieves handcuffs from under the ring. So the servants end up helping, cuff Roman to the ring. But Roman ended up fighting off everyone again. So Corbin and Dolph, they had Roman cuffed to the ring post. And the cuffs, with the cuffs and the chains. Now, they pulled the cuffs over the ring post. So Roman was defenseless. So Corbin then unloaded on Roman, throwing punches at Roman while Roman is trapped. Fans were booing. Dolph ends up coming in, starts punching, headbutting Roman. Referees tried to stop them. And we see Dolph, he ended up going under the ring again, and he retrieves dog food, two open cans of dog food, and he smears the dog food all over Roman, and the dog food goes all over Roman's hair, his face. It's all over Corbin and Dolph. It's all over the ring post, and Corbin brings his scepter out. And the referees, finally get Corbin and Dolph to head to the back. And we just see Roman is just hanging from the ring post. And, both of his arms were, shackled over his head, because he's handcuffed. And basically that's how SmackDown ended. But this whole thing was awful. This whole fucking dog food putting all over Roman, fucking terrible. This whole show was fucking terrible. God awful. So anyways, that's it for my review of SmackDown. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. And I'll definitely give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. And there will not be a review of Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. Possibly not going to be a review of Monday Night Raw. Maybe this week, who knows? Because I'm working tomorrow night, so I might record Raw, but schedule is going to be a little, off for this week. So if I don't do a Monday Night Raw review, then it will be AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, because Tuesday I'm going to be busy. So, but take a little break from Monday Night Raw for a week. So, but who knows what I'm going to do? Maybe I'll review Monday Night Raw, maybe not. No, tomorrow night we're getting the divorce of Lana and Rusev. Thank God. I'm not going to be watching that live because that's fucking terrible. That's going to be fucking shit. And I think we're going to get a United States Championship match. Rey Mysterio versus AJ Styles. But that's the only things that they announced for Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. So, but like I said, no Monday Night Raw review tomorrow night. So, thank you all for watching. And till next video, I'll see you all later.